Hi, hello, hi, and welcome to All Hearts and Minds. Thank you again for tuning in. We're here to discuss all things that have been on our hearts and minds, the good and the bad, the concerning and uplifting, or just straight talk. We're your hosts, give me your passionate heart,
What's up?
and me, Jeanette, our mind and chronic overthinker. Let's get into it.
Yes, please and thanks.
Yes. Okay. So we're back with a new episode. We've
Yay!
been back to back with you for you guys because
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what's going to be going on next month, but doing our best to stay on top of our episodes and make sure we're keeping you guys entertained and informed.
Right?
And quick ask before we jump into the show, we're hoping that you can like, subscribe, add a star, add a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast. But those are the two platforms that would really help us if you guys would just like the podcast, add a star, add a comment, just to get our engagement up. If you like what you're hearing, let us know. If you don't like what you're hearing, let us know.
Right?
Yeah, we want to make
Growth.
sure we're getting you
Mm-hmm.
this stuff that you want to hear. So yeah, good. Just hit us up on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts, and just hit the like, add the stars, drop a comment, whatever you want. And we really appreciate that. We're gonna jump into the checkup, and how are you doing, my friend?
I'm okay. I'm okay. Another week has gone, getting closer and closer to Christmas.
Ooh,
Yeah, a lot of
you know,
planning, a lot of planning,
Uh, isn't it crazy? Like we say that, and it's just like, uh, Christmas. It's not like
Right?
Christmas.
Right? Exactly. I think those days are done. Like I
It's
think it
done,
stopped.
eh?
Yeah, it stopped at like 13 for me
I have a
because
question. I have a question. What do you think in the perfect world? What would make you feel like Christmas? Like what? Like now that you're an adult, like we know those childhood days are gone, but like what is a perfect Christmas as you as an adult now, where you'd feel you'd enjoy it more?
where I'm being catered to. Like I don't have to
Mm.
worry about, the dinner and
Yeah.
somebody gets my gifts from me. Like or not even that. Going away somewhere and having
Okay.
being catered
Yeah.
to. Like that's when I'd be like, "Oh, Christmas." Right? Because
Mhm.
you don't have to worry about all of that. I think
Yeah.
going back to the childhood days when you didn't have to think about all that made Christmas super fun, right?
Exactly.
So
Yeah.
I think in order to return back to that thought, I'd have
Mhm.
to, kind of be catered to. Like the dinner's already planned out. I'm
Mhm.
not cooking. I'm not, the house is just taken care of magically and
Yeah.
bought
Yeah.
and just wrapped magically. You know what I mean?
I
Yeah.
would say for me it's like, yeah, it's like we're personally, for me, like even though like the Christmas food fair is great
Hmm.
because normally you get stuff that you don't normally have all year, especially
Exactly.
like in our Jamaican culture, like sorrel
Mm,
and
can't
chocolate
wait.
tea and all
Mm,
sorts of things. You just eat different food, so I can't say I don't enjoy that, but
right.
I do think it's like that whole like the menu. It's like for me, it would just be like it being a more casual and laid back thing. Like you just people bring what they want to bring. My mom does what she
Right?
wants to do, and she doesn't
Yeah.
rely. Like I don't have to go and like I don't even know. I don't. I feel bad to say it, but it's like I like literally go have to be a work horse at my mom's house. And so I just really wish it was a little bit more relaxed and informal. And I'm
Right?
good with the gifts, and I would be good without the gifts. That would make me be like, okay, yes, we're just spending time enjoying some nice treats that we don't normally have for the rest of the year, and that's it. I
Right?
just wish it was a
Yeah.
lot more less fair involved in it.
Right?
But yeah.
I
But
know.
anyway, back to your week.
Yeah, but overall, week is all right. It's all right, but like, we're talking about now, it's on my mind
Yeah.
cuz, my coworker had to mention she's like, it's almost a month away. And
Oh
I was like
Lord.
I was like
I hate
in my
those
head, I
people.
was thinking, "Heifer, I really didn't need the recap. Like I didn't need the countdown, none of the above." So, because my mom's birthday is also in the month of December.
Okay.
Right. So, and she's like maybe 2.5 weeks before Christmas. So
So you have to think
I
about that first.
exactly. And usually we don't start thinking about Christmas, or at least
So,
like really getting into it, until
mhm.
after her birthday.
Yeah.
So that gives me like maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to really like seal up the plan. You know what I mean? But
Hmm.
overall, my week has been okay. God blessed us, with another week. So yeah, I can't really complain. And I'm trying not to complain. So,
Yes. I
which
encourage
is
that.
harder than you think.
Yeah, I can be when it's particularly trying. Yes, I know it can be very very difficult.
Right? But how was your week? How was your week? How you doing?
I will say my week was okay.
Mm,
Um it's just it's that time of the year where you're doing there's a lot happening, but it was actually not too busy, but it's kind of like
right?
it's work, but other than work, I need to try and I'm trying to think of a course to do over the holiday, or the winter time. I'm trying to look for a course to do of a couple that I'm thinking about doing, just to stay
Mm-hmm.
busy, because it's winter. Unless, like, outside of a trip, like, that's something I'm trying to see if I could squeeze in before the end of the year. Not looking good, but but still, like, trying, because it's
Try
winter,
a
there's not
thing.
much to do, so
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to
I
find some stuff
know.
to stay busy, outside of work, because work alone, like we're talking, like, work alone can be
Ugh, it's too much.
you know
Too
so trying
much.
to re-energize myself outside of that environment is, like, really
Right?
important to me, particularly in winter, because in the summer or in the spring, you go just go outside, you could do, even if I'm just going for a walk or something like that, I think could do a
Mm-hmm.
lot more things to stay busy. But
Mm-hmm.
the winter, it's like really important, just to keep your mind busy and active. But
It sure
otherwise,
is.
God is
Yeah.
good.
Every time.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
every time, all the time. I'm very
All the time.
optimistic, and so we'll see how it goes. All right,
Mm-hmm.
so we're gonna get into our headlines. We're gonna
Go.
be light on the headlines, because we
Mm-hmm.
have some other stuff, some other bigger topics we want to spend a little bit more time on, but in our
Let's
segments.
go.
First, we'll talk about something light and easy, but always,
Mm-hmm.
always internet. Ooh, this girl, Miss Lori Harvey, my girl. Listen, I'm never, listen, we need to remember Lori is 26.
Yes.
Lori is 26 years old. She's not
Mm-hmm.
35. Like, I feel like the people, like the men, their panties are in a
In
twist.
a bunch.
Their panties are in a bun.
In a bunch.
The
Just
girl,
one
like,
big bunch.
it's crazy, because at first you're like, oh, it's like an event, like she dates
Right?
somebody and the relationship ends, and then people are making these comments or whatever. But I'm like, if you really think about it, think about your university days, or a little bit after
Right?
your university days. That was your prime dating time.
Right?
Like,
Exactly.
your 20s are your prime dating time before you find that person, or you get serious about the type of person that you really want, right? So I don't know if it was anybody else. We look at another 26-year-old woman who's dating people. It wouldn't be,
It
you know what I
something to
mean?
talk about. I think the only reason why is because she is such a beautiful girl, and she's
Mm,
dealing with see, this is
yeah.
the downside, I guess, of pretty privilege.
Yes, I
The
know. Yeah, it's true though.
downside.
It's true.
So I want to recognize that, because she is a beautiful girl. But
Yeah.
however, she's dealing with everybody in a Hollywood.
It's
Okay.
a
And it's
Hollywood thing, yeah.
it's a Hollywood thing. Like, if you were to step outside, like, I don't know, maybe if we found out that she was dating some guy from Switzerland that was a doctor or something, like something other
Okay.
than Hollywood. It just
Mhm.
seems like you're being passed down from actor to actor to actor to rapper to actor. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's just how it looks. That's the aesthetics of it all. However, we don't know what's happening behind closed doors. We don't know what type of girlfriend you are, what kind of standards you hold. I would believe that they're high. But I'll be honest with you, Lori, you're starting to look like a paid contract here. Like, the
Ooh.
the time frame is kind of, you know, they don't last past a year and change, like a year and a half, and things is rocky. We saw that in your past relationship and the one before that, and how. So I'm just saying, maybe it's time to step outside of the Hollywood pool, which is
Yeah.
really small. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you stepped outside of music and you went into the acting. Now you have to step outside of entertainment and go somewhere else and do something else. Yeah, she's able to date whoever the hell she wants. I don't know why everybody's on this girl's backside. I mean, she has a
Yeah.
right.
So a few weeks ago, they must have, or about a week or so ago, not too long ago, they must have did the unfollow. So that seems to be the new Hollywood way of letting the people know you're not in a relationship anymore.
Wow.
Is the
No pick up
unfollow?
the phone anymore. Those days are
Yeah,
done.
you just go on anybody in the public can go on either one of their pages and search their names, and if the name's not there, we know what where things are
Wow.
going. And
That's how it goes, eh?
they arrived
Shit.
separately at a celebrity party. I think it's like one of those football players, some celebrity birthday party. They both were there, but they arrived separately. So that was another uh sign that things were on the rocks. But they were super cute together. They're both young people. I think Damson is, how old is
Isn't
Damson?
he
I feel
like
like he's in his early, I feel
28
like
or
he's in his
20?
early 30s. No, no, no. He's definitely
You sure he's in his 30s? Because I feel
I,
like he's like close to his 30s, like 28 or something.
oh,
I
maybe
don't
I'm
know.
confused. Oh, am I getting, see him now? I'm getting the boyfriends confused. Am I
Well, you're
confusing him
going
with
to because
Michael B.
shoot,
Jordan?
you're going to, you
No,
know.
yeah, he's 33. He's 30, he's yeah, 32.
Okay, okay.
So
Like
oh boy.
and I just want to clarify something.
Mhm.
Lori, you are a young girl figuring out your life,
Yeah.
figuring out what you like and what you don't like. So I am making jokes off of your back, but Brethren, you need to stop dating like the it guy.
Yeah,
That's what
because
it
it's bringing
seems
too
like.
much heat. It's bringing too much
It,
heat to her
it's too
now.
much. And it's like you seem like you're a pass around now, or that you are a contract girlfriend of some kind.
Mhm.
And I know that's not nice to say,
It's
but
giving a contract girlfriend.
like contract is a year and a half. When times is up, unless you want to break the contract and pay for the last two few months. I don't know. Oh, it's just seeming contractish. You know what I mean? That's the
Mhm.
aesthetics that I'm
Yeah,
getting.
and I'm not mad at that either, but it's
I'm
obvious
really
now.
not, because get
Mhm.
your bag, girl. Because you
Mhm.
know what? If it were reversed, right, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Like how many
Well, I was
women
just gonna
have
ask. That's an
Michael
interesting.
B. Jordan gone through? Like how many women has he gone through? You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
But
good point.
we don't
We
hear
don't
that.
know because he kind of had to hide that still.
He hit it because of the
Mhm.
Caucasian persuasion that he's down
Mhm.
with. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And he cleaned up his act when he got with Lori. It
Mhm.
just seemed so out of character for him. But we never hear about how many women that these men have smashed. We don't
Yeah,
hear none
yeah,
of that, right?
yeah.
And
It's true.
so I'm just gonna say, do your thing. You're a young girl. Protect yourself in all
Mhm.
shapes and forms.
Mhm.
Protect yourself and know yourself, because people are going to talk about you because the aesthetics are really kind of, giving contract. It's giving.
Okay,
It's
well,
giving contract.
Lori, take a breather. Here's what I would what I wanted. Knowing it's a contract, I want the contracts to be shorter because
You
then
see
I
what I'm
could be like,
saying? Under
because
a
when it's a
12-year
year, I kind
kid,
of get I get lulled into thinking it's a real relationship when it's a year. But if you're just like, if you think about certain people who date a lot, like people who
right?
are very like, what am I gonna call them? Serial daters.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be dating all two or three people a year
Right?
if you're really saying you're having fun in the dating scene, right?
Well, at least
But
two a year.
anyway,
That's 6 months. Yeah. Well,
yeah, I feel like the
just slow
year,
it down, Laura. Just
yeah,
slow it down,
slow
girl.
it down. Yeah, next
Jeez.
guy, let him be low profile. Do
Right? I
like
think
get
that's
a
the
get
key.
a D-lister, get a
That's
D-lister or something.
or somebody outside of the, like, they're famous, like they're not famous, they don't have infamy, but they have money, because I
Yes,
think that's what she's aiming for, is that type of,
of
what they
course.
call high value man that
Mm,
could take care of her.
mm-hmm.
I mean, they do have a tough act to follow. I mean,
Woohoo.
Michael B.
Yeah.
Jordan bought her Hermes stocks. I mean,
Jeez.
I don't know. Like, how do I deal with like a bag at this point, or like a bracelet or something, or a dinner? You bought me stocks, right? Okay,
Okay.
so we put it at a whole different.
Yeah.
So you
He said
might
you're
want
gonna
to,
remember. He said you're gonna remember my name.
you damn well sure, especially when you're
Every
cashing
time
that
you look
stuff
at
in.
your stock value.
I mean, it's hard to forget him,
Hmm.
and I think that was on purpose. That was
Yeah.
deliberate. But I mean, just go for a guy that, maybe not be doesn't have infamy, but he still has money and prestige, and you know what I mean? I don't know.
Hmm.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I hear you. All
She gonna
right,
figure it
so
out.
they're
She
both
gonna
having fun.
figure
They're
it
both
out,
young. Live your best
right?
life, people. All right, so we're gonna move on to another thing I wanted to talk about this last week, but it fell off my radar. So
Yeah,
Rapper
yeah.
Kodak Black
That's why it
was.
fell off. Hmm.
Oh God. Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
Kodak
Yeah,
Black was on Drink Champs a few weeks ago, and
doing the most. Hmm.
following that interview, I didn't watch it. I saw a couple of clips just to see why everybody was up in arms. So following that, everybody was worried and things. People have been worried about him for the past at least few months,
Yeah.
at least from what
Hmm.
I'm seeing on social. But he didn't look good. To me, he's never that coherent. The way he speaks, I feel like he speaks like he has clenched teeth. He has a very deep Southern accent. And on top of being inebriated, that it doesn't make for a very coherent conversation. Even when he appears to be sober, his accent and to me, I
The
describe it. His
accent is thick.
It's very
Jesus.
thick, and then on top of that,
Like,
his
wow.
enunciation his enunciation is not there. So it's like I need to watch a video of his at least 3 times to have any idea what he's saying. Um, and so a lot of people were kind of criticizing um the Drink Champs crew for airing or like streaming it, posting that video or that interview because he did not look. He was obviously not his best, right?
Right.
And I took a quick 10-minute gander at the intro just to see what I picked up on. And yeah, he does. He's lost. He's very skinny. And
Hmm.
when he came out of jail, he was skinny, but then he gained back. He's starting to look kind of semi what he looked like before, and now he looks very skinny.
Right.
Um,
Hmm.
his hair is always he always has the Nazi look, so I'm not going to
Hmm.
say anything about his hair. But his hair even his hair, like even when he was wearing the Nazi look, it was intentional. Like it was styled that way. His hair does
Right.
not look styled at all.
No.
It's
Roll out
just
of
there.
bed kind of thing.
And there was a shorter clip I saw when he was talking, like he couldn't sit down. It looked like he was standing up and sitting down. And there was one point he was talking. I was like, "Is that?" I was like, Is that drool coming as well?" Like I wasn't sure. I'm not gonna say
Ah!
that it looked kind of questionable.
Ay, bye.
But I will say a positive. Like he looked bad. Like I won't
Ay,
even lie.
vey.
Even for him, he looked bad. But I one thing I will give what's his name,
Kodak. Mhm.
Noriega.
Oh, okay,
Uh,
yeah.
one thing I'll give Noriega, even though I don't know how I feel that he posted it. Like at the end of the day, maybe he had the consent. So if you have consent, then I can't criticize that, right? Like if Kodak and his
Mhm.
team said it was okay to post it, then there's not who am I to say anything? But I would say it was a very respectful interview. all things
Mhm.
considered, he was like Noriega was respectful, but Noriega let him talk. Noriega tried to make sure he was understanding what he was saying. Like if he wasn't sure, like he let him clarify and stuff like that. And so I will say that I appreciate that they were respectful to him. Like when you see somebody like that, a lesser person could have been degrading. You know what I mean?
Right.
So they were very respectful to somebody who's obviously struggling, right? So
Right.
I'll give him that. um
Hmm.
and I'll say my point of view on Kodak in general outside of this interview. He's been for the past, since he's come back, he has been doing a different level of music. Like he was already big when he got locked up, and I didn't really get him then, I'll be honest. But like since he's come back and I've kind of done a retrospective on some of his big, like his singles and some of the stuff he's been doing now, I can't even believe the same guy that I see on Instagram talking is the same guy that makes that music. I'm almost like, is somebody else writing for him, or like is he only be able to express himself properly with music? I don't know, but he actually is a solid artist. But he, on the other hand, there's a lot going on there. I don't even know what to say. Like the lifestyle, obviously drugs, being incarcerated a lot. Has some said some questionable stuff about other women hip hop artists and stuff like
Mhm.
that. I'm trying to remember how old he
It
is. I don't even
does.
think I don't
Mhm.
even know if he's 30 yet. Maybe he is. He's been around now for a while, but before he went to jail, I would have
Isn't
considered
he
him one of,
married? He's
not that I'm
married.
aware of. He may,
I
I
think
know he's
he's married.
proposed. I know he's
Um,
proposed to somebody. I don't know if that marriage actually happened.
well, here's my thing with Kodak. Okay,
Hmm.
now he has an accent, right?
Hmm.
Along with it seems like a slur, like he
Hmm.
slurs his words, like he doesn't pronunciate his
Yes. Yeah.
words. So, and then he has like an accent, a slur, and then when he's intoxicated, he sounds intoxicated.
Yes.
So, and the type of drugs that I'm hearing that he's doing, yeah, it's definitely gonna, play poorly on your motor skills, and so you can hear it. You can hear it. Now, am I worried for him? Yeah, a little
Mm-hmm.
bit, because you're on the Drink Champs, and bruh, half of what you said nobody could make out. Half of what you said nobody could get. What That's why Noriega had to, because I watched a little bit, I didn't watch the
Hmm.
whole thing,
No.
but
Yeah.
he had
No.
to keep like he had to keep clarifying and
Hmm.
what you mean, and it just seemed like he has things to say. However, it's distracted with a lot of his nonsense and his
Yeah.
antics. And he
Yeah.
does have antics. So not only are you intoxicated, but you have a slur, you have a thick accent, and you have these antics going on. So it's hard for me to really take you seriously at
Mm-hmm.
all. Now in terms of his music, yeah, okay, I can see he is a solid rapper.
Hmm.
However, I don't really like his stuff. I really
Hmm.
don't. I don't find it that appealing. There's so many other, but he's on a lot of tracks, so it's not like I don't
Yeah.
hear him. I hear him
Yeah.
all the time.
Hmm.
Would I, oh, I wish I hear him. Nah, I'm not. I'm not
Mm.
really a fan
Hmm.
myself. Um, and overall with Noriega, now Noriega must have a waiver of some kind
Yes. Yeah.
that has to be signed before they even film. So you're going on to Drink Champs. That's the name of the show. So eventually you're going to start making nonsense. You're going to start saying things that you might
Mhm.
not should say.
Yeah. That's the
So
whole point of the show.
that's the whole point of the show, right? And so loosen you up and make you almost look like an idiot. And
Mhm.
Kodak Black, he definitely followed suit with that in his last interview. But I see why Noriega, he put it out there. I mean, you don't go on Drink Champs to come off super clean. Like, of
Mm.
course not. I
No.
mean, so I don't fault Noriega at all. I think anybody that goes on Drink Champs should know how to handle their alcohol and their marijuana. intake before they start saying stupid things on air. Like, you know what I mean? Or
But a
stupid
lot.
things in taping. So
Okay, so the
I'm not gonna
general.
I'm not gonna hold Noriega responsible for any of that
Yeah. Okay. That's
at
fair.
all.
I agree. I agree now that I've thought about it. But in general, with Kodak Black, the observation, and this was just a cherry on top of something that's been observed for the past few months, right?
Mhm.
Is as his team. It's kind of more like who is surrounding. It's like you're watching a train wreck. Like when you look at Britney Spears
Mhm.
and you saw that, right?
Mhm.
Or any other celebrity. This is not a
Yeah.
celebrity going like just spiraling is not new, right?
No,
but
exactly.
but your team not containing the fallout is very concerning. Like your team allowing you to be seen that way is concerning. And I heard an interesting take from I feel like 2 weeks in a row I've mentioned this guy and I'm gonna have to say it. So interesting take from Joe Budden, right? In that if we think about hip hop, we talk about the culture, right?
Mhm.
And we are seeing prior, let's forget even before he got to Jing Champs, on his page there was just some concerning people were concerned about Kodak.
Mhm.
So why are we watching this and not looking after somebody that is one of a young talent that is he's one of the better of the young crew in terms of quality of music. He
Yeah.
is one of the better talent, right? And
Okay.
so why are we, and just in the numbers, like even if it's not
Mhm.
your
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
even if it's not your
No,
taste or
I
your
can look
style,
past that. Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
he numbers wise he's doing pretty good.
Right.
And so why are we not looking after our young talent? Why are we letting our young talent spiral? Like if you think about, say, somebody like, okay, think about Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Remember, there was a point when Justin Bieber literally fell apart in front of our eyes on one of
He
his
sure
tours,
did. He sure did.
right? And I'm sure a lot of people were around him. He went to Christianity. By the time he came back, he kind of fell into Christianity, and that's kind of why he's more religious. He seems like he has a little bit clearer
Mhm.
head and or whatever, right? But I'm sure a lot of people went to his aid. A lot of people like called him up and called his team up, and they pulled him off of that tour. He was
Right.
pulled off of that tour. That tour did not proceed.
Right.
So now
Right.
we see a person like Kodak who's going on his social
Mhm.
media. Now he's gone on a huge platform like Jing Champs. And now everybody's like, okay, we on the social short form, we don't know what's going on. But this is
Mhm.
clear. This is like over an hour. Let me see that length of this interview. I had it in front of me. The length. This is over 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours
Mhm.
of just plain like, oh shit, something's wrong. And so I think people really need to, like, what I'm saying is the gatekeepers, the godfathers, the OGs
Right.
need to kind of pull some people
Well, for
aside.
some particular reason, and it's sad to say this, but when it comes to black rappers or entertainment, they
Mhm.
let them crash and burn
Well, that's the
first.
problem. That's what Budden
Um,
is saying. Yeah.
but that in history we can see that, you know,
Yeah.
that they let that happen
Yeah.
because for a lot of bigger heads in the entertainment industry, it's money. You know,
Hmm.
it's
Yeah.
entertaining,
We know it's money.
right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to Justin Bieber, for instance, oh no, we don't want the white boy to look bad. We don't want
Mm.
we want to
Mm.
protect his image and blah 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 and blase blase. And you know, overall, I just think that any young man's demise in front of us
Yes.
is
Yes. I
never
agree. Eh,
acceptable. It's never
exactly.
acceptable, and we should all band of, like, you know, huddle around them and help them put this stuff into perspective.
Hmm.
However, that's not the reality we live in. Okay,
Yeah.
when black people act this way, it's entertaining
Hmm.
and
See?
it's monetized.
Hmm.
So no, you're not going to get somebody, any of the gatekeepers, because look, Noriega, who is black, is monetizing off of the demise of this young man.
Mm.
So it doesn't matter who, it doesn't matter. It just, for some particular reason, that's what people find entertaining.
Hmm.
I think the perspective of what's entertaining needs to change.
Yeah.
And then we can be gatekeepers for these young men. Because even Noriega, who is black, is, and many other, not just him, I'm not going to throw him under the bus, but
Hmm.
many other, will allow this to happen on their platforms because it's entertaining. It garners more viewership. People want to follow you and do all this stupid shit. And unfortunately, it's not right. Right. And so I think the mentality has to change. I think
Hmm.
that looking at this should not be entertaining for us. It should not. And unfortunately, there are some people who are, black, that look at him as entertainment. And so I think there's a lot that has to change. Gatekeeping isn't the only thing anymore. Like, we can't, these young men, though, on top of that, like, I will say this,
Hmm.
they want to do what the hell they want to do. Okay. And there was like generations before, you would listen to the older, you would listen to, they would influence you differently. If you say were a young teenage girl and you are around older teenage girls, you would want to emulate them. You'd want to listen to them. You would look up to them. These young cats nowadays, they don't give not two shits. They're disrespectful to the older ones,
Mm.
right? And we see that all the time. We see that all the time where even though they are trying to gatekeep and say, yo, fam, you need to clean that up,
Yeah.
they don't want to hear it. They ain't trying to hear it. They're going to tell you, disrespect you, and say, oh, you're old and you don't know what the hell you're talking about and you're of a different generation. You know what I'm saying? They just don't want to hear it. So I don't know. Kodak, you need help, friend.
Yeah.
You need help. You need help. And I don't know if this is just a facade because we don't know what you're like outside of this, right? We don't know. I don't know what Kodak's like when he's at home. And we've seen many entertainers, they take on a persona. They take on a persona. So I don't know if this is a persona that he is taking on. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And is not really him. So I don't know. Back in my day, you kept it real, so whoever you were was your persona. You
Hmm.
understand? Nowadays it's like there's two different people. you know um Even if you look at Snoop Dogg is married. Listen
Yeah.
to his music from back in the day.
Hmm.
He's talking about pimping people out, bro.
Slapping bitches.
Yes. But he's a married man with kids, house, car, picket fence.
Hmm.
So, you know what I'm trying to say? So, I mean,
Taking his kids to football.
so it's a persona. It's a
Hmm.
persona. So this is the persona. Is this the persona that he has chose, which is of a drunkard, slurring his words all over the place? I
Mm.
don't know. I don't know, but I hope you get some help, friend, because you need it. You
Yeah.
need it.
He's 26, which it's crazy because I feel like he's been around for a while, but he's 26. He's been around. I feel like I've been hearing about this guy since at least 2015, but he's been through a lot. He's been through the system, and I'm sure, like, if we heard about when he was in jail, he was pleading for his life while he was in jail before
Hmm.
Trump let him out.
That's
So
why
I
he
think
love
he
a
has a
Trump. He sent
yeah.
Trump $1 million the other day, so he
Yeah,
made
if
sure
I
he hook up
hey,
Trump though.
if I was in his position, as much as I hate Trump, I mean, the man gave him a
Right?
lifeline that he didn't have, right? And
This is it.
so for Kodak Black, I'm praying for him. I think he has a lot to say. I don't know where all this darkness and pain has come from. I can guess with what was going on in the past couple of years, but praying for him and his team, and like that it can get him together, because it would be really tragic to watch this happen. Although it's hard to help somebody who doesn't want to have help. We know that. We've
Right?
heard that story
That all
before, but
that. All
at least
that.
I just want his team to protect him. And I just feel like by having him out like this, or even on social media, it doesn't seem like he has good people around him, and that's my
Right.
concern.
And
But
he
I'm not mad
probably
at Nori.
doesn't. He probably
Yeah,
doesn't.
clearly he doesn't.
Yeah.
Like at this point, clearly, like at the very least, make sure the boy is like looks like you dress him up and do his hair, even if he's
Right?
tweaked out of his mind, make him look decent. You know what I mean?
At least. Not so
Um.
disheveled, like, geez.
So
Yeah, well.
yeah, we'll move on into some other music news. And
Mm-hmm.
so the one and only Missy Elliott was inducted into the what is it? Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yes. The Hip Hop Hall of Fame, wasn't it?
No, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, Rock.
She
Oh,
was
okay,
already
my
she I
bad.
think I wonder if she's inducted into the Hip Hop Hall of Fame. Is there a Hip Hop
Must.
Hall of Fame? I don't even know if there's a Hip Hop Hall of
I
Fame.
have to look that up.
I have to look
Mm-hmm.
that up. That's actually a good question. Yeah, so she's the first female rap artist to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And they had the ceremony where she got her award last week, and she performed some of her bigger songs: "Get Your Freak On," "The Rain," "Work It," "Pass the Dutch," and "Lose Control." Let me
Mm-hmm.
tell you something. I have a story before I get into this. One of the first albums, when you're a kid and you ask for
Mm-hmm.
Christmas gifts, back when you were really young in elementary school, and you ask your parent, the HMV. Remember HMV? I don't know if people
Yep.
listening remember
Yep.
HMV. The
HMV was the
HMV
spot, yo.
was
That was the
the commercial
spot.
record store, right? It was everywhere. I think it was in the US too. HMV was
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. And you get your HMV gift card for Christmas, and then you go there like you feel like an adult, it's like, oh, I want to go buy my favorite CD
Yep.
or whatever, right? Or tapes. They had tapes. I don't know
Yep.
tapes are probably maybe theirs too sometimes.
And they even let you listen to the stuff
And
too.
you could listen to
Mm-hmm.
them and all that stuff. That was my favorite. When I got an HMV gift card, oh, I'd go
What?
to HMV and be listening to all these different albums. And so, anyway, that was one of the first albums I bought by myself as a kid. Was it her first album? Which I can't stand the
I
rain, which
can't
is
stand the rain. That's my
yeah. I
track.
have to see that's a single. Let me see what the actual um
Was it Super Duper Fly?
Super Duper Fly. I think that was the name of the album. Was that the name of it?
I
Let me
feel
see.
like it was the name Super Duper Fly.
I want to double check. It might be you might be right, but
Yes, Missy. Missy, you deserve it, girl. She
is that
is an awesome talent. She is very talented. She's very intelligent. She's very smart. She set so much trend. Like, this woman set so much trend. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
Okay?
so yeah, it
Everybody.
was Super Duper Fly and then The Real World. Okay, yeah. So
Hmm.
she was inducted, first female rapper to be inducted. I thought it was, for some
No,
reason I
she's
thought it was Queen.
in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She's the
Okay, yeah.
first.
So rock and roll,
Yeah.
yes, she's the first ever female rapper, which of course makes sense. And here's the thing. Like again, I just brought up Super Duper Fly because that was one of those albums, one of the first albums I listened to as a kid. So I listened to that thing raw. That CD was like
Yeah.
got played a million
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so, yes, the rain, but the video, that's how we all got introduced to her. That's why I
That's
had to get
right.
the album. I didn't know anything about this woman or any of her other music, but that video alone, I went to HMV. I said, I have
That's
to listen to
right.
this. And I
Mhm.
can't stand the rain, or she had the finger raves and the garbage bag dress or
Yeah, the garbage
pantsuit
bag dress. You see how forward she
and the
was?
finger waves and her eyes, the beat that the visuals or the beat was like her body and her facial expressions were popping out with the beat and
Yeah.
the beat of that song. Oh my god, it's crazy if we really think back about it. She
She's
was
sick.
so
She's
she
sick.
was they her and Timbaland were always way ahead of their time, and I kind of think
She
that's why.
and now look, when you think they have she was wearing a garbage bag dress, right? Back
Mhm,
then, and people were
mhm,
looking at her like she was crazy. But
mhm.
now you'll see it walk down the runway, okay? Big fashion show. Kanye at one point had a garbage bag dress. So
Yeah,
she was
Balenciaga,
so
yeah, the oversized outfits with
right?
garbage bags. Yeah, it's true.
She was so far ahead of her time. She was so far ahead of her time. She's just brilliant. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant woman.
So congratulations to her. It's well deserved. And
Sure is.
yeah, kudos
Yeah.
to Missy Elliott. And then
Yes.
second we had the woman formerly known as K.Michelle.
Ugh. This woman.
She
Okay.
got an opportunity. She was on the CMAs, which is a Country Music Awards recently that just happened in the last week, and she performed with former rapper, now country award country singer Jelly Roll, and they performed the old country song. I don't know if it's his song or it's an old country song, but she was performing with him, and she blew the house down. It was crazy. And the irony with that is, outside of not recognizing the woman who called herself K.Michelle.
I don't know who the hell this woman is. I don't know who the hell. It's a lie.
Okay.
It's a
So
lie.
yeah, actually, you know what? Actually, the song is from the Judds. You know the Judds, the
Mhm.
Winona Judd,
Yep.
and
Yep.
yes. So it was actually an old country song that she performed. It was actually very beautiful. Never heard of it, but it's called "Love Can Build a Bridge," and phew, she tore the roof down. But here's the backstory with her. She's been trying to release, and I think it's going to be released soon, a
Mhm.
country album for a while. And her story is that she actually, people who don't know, and I just realized that, excuse me, recently, since she announced that she was working on a country album,
Mhm.
that was her actual first passion, was country music. She got a scholarship for vocal, for yodeling.
Wow.
And
Who would have
actually, if you
thought?
think about where she's from, that makes sense. She's from Memphis, Tennessee.
Mhm.
Memphis,
Mhm.
Tennessee, I believe is where Graceland is. The Texas, is that
I believe so. Yeah.
Elvis?
Yes.
Tennessee is like a big country music, home. So that would
Yes.
make sense, even though obviously Tennessee is known for black music as well. Um, it's also a huge home of the country music world as well.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
yeah, it is. That's where Elvis Presley lived, and Graceland is there. So anyway, she's a dream realized for her. So it was actually beautiful to see. And she actually did an interview with on the red carpet. I don't know if you saw that, but they were asking her about her country music album. She's like, I'm excited. I'm happy for the opportunity. And I was like, who is this woman?
They should ask her about her damn face. That's what they should ask her about.
Go like, yeah. I mean, you know what? They're just the country music world is just hearing about
Change.
K. Michelle as far as we're concerned. So,
Change. What's changed?
um, but I'm happy for her. So we'll see. There is another black woman who performed on the CMAs. I don't even know if it was last year. Maybe it was last year or the year before, but her name is Nikki Geiger. And
Mhm.
black people are coming for the CMAs. That's all I'm gonna say. They're coming for the
Mhm.
CMAs. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Do your passion. And what the point was, why I brought up she was very passionate about country, is that she got turned away from the country world. Like, if you think about what happened with Lil Nas X when he first had that first song, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Old Town Road. And even
He
though
needed a cosign though. He needed a
he
cosign.
needed a co-sign to get on the country music radio, they completely gatekeep that guy. And maybe somebody like K.Michelle, like 10 years ago, they would have gatekeeped her, which is probably what happened, why she had to change the direction of her
Yeah.
career. And so now we have singers, black singers like Nikki Geiger. There's another mixed boy. I'm not sure what his name is, but he's like mixed, and he's been killing the country world as well. And so now is the perfect time for her. So I'm excited, and I'd give it a listen, because one thing I know is K. Michelle is gonna blow regardless of the genre of music.
And she
So
can sing. Like that's
yeah,
the
of
thing. She
course,
has talent.
yeah, very much
She
a
does
lot of
have
talent.
talent. Um, she's unrecognizable to the human eye, but but she's definitely talented. Um, and I hope she does well. Like I really do
Mm,
hope that she does well. All jokes aside,
yeah.
and she, I listened to it. I was like, okay, Jelly Roll, I see why you have her up here. I see why you have her on your stage here, sir, because she can sing. She really can sing, and she is a talented person. So, um, just no more surgeries. No more
Please,
surgeries,
please, no
ma'am.
more.
Please, please.
Okay, so that was
Yeah.
our music news, and so we'll go into our first segment, which is Wagwan for real.
Wagwan for real.
And in this segment, we look at stories that just don't add up. they
Not
don't
making
make a
sense.
lot of sense. We hear
No.
them or we see them and we have to ask the hard question. What a guan for real?
For real.
This week, oh boy, we're going to talk about
Hmm.
Miss Keke Palmer.
Yes,
I
Kiki.
am very, very sad for her.
Me too.
I think so let me get to the point. So Keke Palmer this week was in the news because she put a restraining order on her longtime partner and baby father, Darius. And what's his last name? Darius Jackson. And it was came to me. I mean, it was shocking to me because last time I saw, they were like, getting. It seemed
Kindling.
like
Yeah, they rekindled their
rekindling and getting back
whole
together
thing.
after all the drama that we witnessed with the Usher concert
Right?
and the infamous dress and the infamous
That's
tweet, right?
right.
And I guess we should have known that tweet. I mean, I think at the time I said this as well, but like thinking
Mm-hmm.
back to it, especially when it comes to abusive men, the red flags,
Mm-hmm.
and
That's right.
your man publicly embarrassing you and trying to humiliate you in public is a big red flag. Like
Right?
that's like that's an abusive behavior in itself.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so she filed a restraining order, and it said in within it, she alleges that Darius trespassed it into her home without her knowledge or consent and threatened her and physically attacked her, lunging for her neck, striking her, throwing her over the couch, and stealing her phone when she was said she would call the police. The stills of that incident, because she has security cameras in her home, have been released by TMZ, and even without seeing it on video, it looks crazy. It looks wild. So, and when she went to get the phone, he nearly hit her with her car. So this week he was on one, and probably because she probably sent him out of the house, and he said he came to probably try. He's threatened to see his son, but really it's just a control thing. You use his son as an excuse to try and ingratiate
Sure
yourself back to
did.
Kiki.
Yep.
But I mean, this happening with your son in the home. He's only 8 months. This is crazy.
When
And I
I
feel
saw the
really.
video, I
Mhm,
was so disturbed.
mm.
I was disturbed for many reasons. First, Kiki, you don't you don't need him. Okay?
Mm-mm.
You don't need him if he's going to cause you this type of aggravation and have you be a poor example to your son, because if you let him continue to do this to you, you have a role to play in what your son is seeing. So I hope that she's totally finished with this. I was very surprised when the whole Usher incident and what she wore. And I was very surprised that she went back. I was very surprised. I thought she was a lot stronger of a woman than that. Now, I don't want to. I don't want to sound like I'm attacking her because I'm not. However, Kiki tried to make it look like one big joke. Okay,
Mm.
but it wasn't a joke. He's beating you up behind closed doors. And I, unfortunately, myself have endured physical abuse by the hands of a man. And it's nothing easy to process in your brain. It took me many years to get over that and to get through that. And this is not the way that he was throwing her down. This is not the first time. This is the
Oh
first
no.
time that we publicly are aware of it, but this is not the first time. So to see that she did go back to him, knowing maybe she found out afterward, I don't know, but either way, you tried your best to make the world think that it wasn't what it is. And anybody that has been through some sort of domestic violence could see the red flags, and the red flags were waving strongly in my
Mm.
face
Mm.
when he was upset at the fact and his comments about what she was wearing and so on and so forth. It was red flags galore, and in my mind I thought, okay, well, Kiki is she's always presented herself as being very strong,
Mm.
and so she's gonna dismiss this man. Well, not quite. It
Well,
didn't quite
here.
work that way, you know. Because the thing is that it's a progression, right? Like physical
Yeah.
abuse is progression. It's not. It doesn't just He doesn't just throw you down the stairs one day. You understand what I'm saying? It starts with the comments, or
Yep.
the mental abuse, or you know, then it will go into him hitting you one day, or shoving you one day, or squeezing your arm too tight one day, and then it progresses to him beating you up, like hitting you, and then it progresses to you're on the verge. If
Yeah,
I'm
you might
just
get killed.
thinking,
Like straight up. Like you don't want to say it,
I
but
don't,
we've seen
but
it
it's
too
the
many
truth.
times.
It's the
Yeah.
truth. It's the
Yeah.
truth. And we have to deal with the truth in these type of domestic situations, because
Mhm.
that's the only way that it will get better. You know what I'm saying? Is we have to deal with the truth. And the truth is that he could have killed her when he threw her down on the stairs. All it
Mhm.
takes is for her head to hit the wrong angle,
Mm.
and we could be talking a whole different talk right now. So Keke, if you ever come across this, keep it pushing, girl. Keep
Well,
it
now it
pushing.
looks like now that she's
Yeah,
exposed
don't
him,
go
like yeah.
back though. Don't go back,
Not
because
yet.
we've seen this before. And you don't even have to be a superstar or famous. We've seen it before where people will go back even after all of this. Don't go
Yeah, but
back.
I mean in real life, but I feel like when you now that she's exposed him completely and the videos are out there, it'd be hard, like even if she wanted to, like if she wanted to protect her career and her image, she can't. Not saying she's not, but I feel like now that you clear the air, because I think in her, when I was reading the rest of her restraining order comments, like this has been going on for over 2 years. Like it started, like you said, all the mental and emotional abuse has
Mhm.
been going on for a while. And here's when
Mhm.
we talk about her going back after that first incident. I didn't expect, and I didn't really want, I would say there's a part of me that didn't want her to leave like that, thinking that was a first or an early incident of that type of behavior, right? So I'm not,
Mhm.
again, that's the thing with the public. I always try to hold my judgment unless it's like very clear and there's a lot of receipts, but I held my judgment for him in saying that, oh, maybe it's new to him. He's just his first time dating a really big celebrity and he doesn't know how to handle it, and I could see why, he doesn't really have much going for him, so he needs to find something. Like pretty much I was like, okay, I get it that she went back. This is something that they can work on. It's hard, but they can work on. But now seeing that this has been going on, yeah, and now that the video's out, it's like, yeah, she can't. It's done. It's completely done
She
now. She
she
can't go.
she can't. She To us, she shouldn't,
No,
right? She shouldn't, and I hope to God that she doesn't. But
no,
I've
yeah,
seen it happen, and
yeah. We
so
know in real life, yeah, because then
but
people
this
don't
is
have to
her
hold
real
be held.
life. This is her
Mhm.
real life. Like
But
to
the thing
us,
is, she has an extra accountability, right? Because if we think
yeah. But
about,
I've seen it happen even in these accountability. Like that's the thing, is that it's a different situation once she had the kid. Once she
yes,
had the
that's
kid,
true. Hmm.
right? So before child, she could be like, "Oh, forget him," and "Oh, I'm just gonna move on." She's Keke Palmer; she can keep it pushing, right?
Hmm.
Then she had his son, and now it's not so much you anymore.
Hmm.
It's
Hmm.
you as a mother and what you want for your child, and you want your child to have both parents, and it's not even necessarily in the home, but to be on good terms where we could
Yeah,
both raise the child proper. So there's a whole lot of other things, and so all I'm
that's
saying,
true.
Kiki,
Yeah,
is don't, please don't. I don't care what has to pop off. Yeah, you are definitely in the public eye, and so any move that you make will definitely be cross-examined. Of course. However, don't, please. No, your child doesn't need to see you getting beaten up. And if you want to see your child grow, if you want longevity with your child, then you got to step out and just leave this situation with this man altogether, because the way I saw him, yeah, he could kill you. He could kill you. And your son needs a mom. So Don't try to justify, oh, well, I went back for, and we tried to make it work, and we went to counseling. That's always a good one I hear all the time. Oh, we went to counseling. No, it's not we. He needs to go to counseling. Why for me is this particularly wagwan for real? Behind the closed door, me never could have think say, because Keke gives off this aura of strength,
Yeah,
right? And of standard. And to just see that she too has succumbed to wanting to be loved. She wants to be loved. She wants love in her life, and sometimes when we want that so desperately, we kind of turn our head to these type of things, because this didn't just happen when she had the child. These were
of course not.
signs. These are signs. He gave you signs.
Did you see the tweet from his brother?
No, I didn't. I
The
don't
guy,
like. Yeah, yeah.
you,
Mm-hmm.
I know, because what are you gonna do? Like your brother's gonna try and defend you or whatever.
Yeah,
But I
shut the
mean, we
fuck
see
up.
the video. Like we
Sorry.
saw the video. It's like it's done. Like there's nothing you could do to defend this young
Nothing you
man.
can say, nothing you could do. You just need to go crawl under whatever rock you came from. And yeah, I'm gonna be that harsh because I don't rock with domestic violence. It's not okay with me. It's never gonna be okay with me. And any man that decides to put his hands on a woman in anger, like the way he did, to
Hmm.
me is more than a coward. You're somebody that really I couldn't give two shits about. You're a part of the population that I wish would just crawl under a rock and never come out. And
Hmm.
that's just, I've, like I said, I've been through domestic violence, unfortunately, well before my husband. And, it took a lot for me to even want to love
Mm.
again. And that's the hard part, because it's the trust, right? And
Mm.
when you're actually in that situation, there's so many things that you wonder to yourself. And Kiki, I'm gonna tell you, there's nothing that you could have said or done that would justify his reaction like this. So it is not your fault. It will never be your fault. Um, Keep it pushing, Kiki. Get that restraining order, get your kid, and go on with your life. And I can't wait to see more from you in the future, and more from your son and how he's doing. This is a lot,
Mm.
because I felt like it came from left. Like it just
Me
came from
too.
the
I was
left.
like, I was like, what's going on? Why am I seeing Kiki's? Well, forget. Yeah, I was like seeing photos of him, and I was like, what? Why are these like? When you're scrolling through the feed, and like,
Right?
I don't care about him enough to stop and read what's going on. And by
Mm-hmm.
the end of the day, I was like, oh shit, this is whoa, restraining
Right?
order, abuse. What the heck?
Right? Right?
So,
It never in my days did I ever think that I would hear Keke Palmer and abuse in the same sentence.
whew,
Never ever. Never ever. Because, like, to me, she's like the black version of, like, she's the Hollywood princess to
yes, so
me.
she's a black Hollywood princess. Yep.
To me, that's what
Mm-hmm.
she's always been. And Kiki's been in the game since she's like, oh, what, 5, 6, 7 years old.
Mm.
So, hold your head up, Kiki. Hold your head up, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get through it. You will, because God is good, and you have a strong support system. Don't go back. Keep pushing forward. Somehow you'll have to figure out and maneuver, co-parenting. I don't know how that would work. I just feel so bad for her.
Yeah.
I do.
Because because I can imagine, not not being in somebody's shoes like that, but I can imagine, I know a lot of the reason why people stay or don't talk about it is shame, right? And
Definitely.
in that, like, people are judging you for being with somebody like that and staying with somebody like that.
Yeah,
So
why couldn't you see the signs? How come you
yeah.
didn't just leave? Why didn't you do? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But here's the thing, right? Is that until you're actually in it, you
Hmm.
can't talk.
Hmm.
You just can't. Because it's so much different when you're actually in the situation, and you're wiping up the blood off of your own face,
Ooh.
right? It's a whole different ball game because there's so much emotions that are running through your head. I know
Mm-hmm.
that for me, I loved him. I loved him with all of who I was. Even
Mm-hmm.
at a very young age, I loved him and I was with him for a long time. And it was like, how could someone that says that they love you do that? Right? Like, how, you wonder to yourself, what kind of transformation, what kind of what's really popping? Like, who are you really?
Mm.
Who are you? I don't know who the hell you are, because who I thought you were is not who just hit me. You know what I'm saying? So it's shame. It's dealing with, like, you, it's so surreal of a moment that it takes
Yeah.
a while for you to realize that this actually happened. Like, it actually happened.
Yeah. It's like hard to.
It's really hard to process in your brain
Mm.
that it
Mm.
actually happened. Like, this is you hear all the talks, oh, domestic violence, get away, do that, and oh, I'm such a strong woman, and I'm gonna, and you think to yourself, how the hell did I get here?
Mm-hmm.
How did I get here? And what is going on? Like, you are such in a trance. Like, you have no real idea. Like, you can't even process in your brain that the person that tells you that they love you, I didn't have a child for him.
Mm-hmm.
That's a whole different dynamic that I can't even speak to. But just the love that I had for him, and to see how he would treat me, it was just like, wow. 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 It's baffling. And then you have to deal with the shame of, like, I can't tell nobody. Or I don't
Mm.
need to cover up my face. Or if I tell somebody, or who's knows, or don't tell any, you just don't, you don't want it to become this huge ordeal,
Okay.
because it's already a huge ordeal in your brain. So, Kiki, girl, I wish I could say, that it's a one off. But this is who he is. This is who he is. It's not a
Yeah.
one off. If he could do it once, he could do it again. And the fact that, if you go back to him, you're not setting a precedent. So you're not telling him, listen, you don't put your hands on me. And if you put your hands on me, I'm gone. Once you go back, it will get worse. It will not get any better. It will get worse. Your son will be seeing this. You don't want that for yourself or your son. You just don't. So, keep it pushing. You'll be all right. You know, get some counseling, in whatever shape or form that is, but get some counseling, because it's a lot to process in your brain. It's a lot to figure out. It's a lot to walk through. It's a lot. It's a lot. So,
Mm-hmm.
but you're gonna be all right, Kiki. You're gonna be all right. Because you know what? How I know you're gonna be all right? Because you're doing the right thing.
Yeah. She's doing the right thing.
You're getting a restraining order. You want full custody of your child. You're doing the right thing. You're separating yourself from that person altogether, right? And so that is the right thing. Yeah. But anyway, Kiki girl, you're gonna be all right. Okay, because he won't keep you down for long. So yes, my dear, I couldn't believe. I know this heavy, eh? It's heavy.
Yeah.
It is heavy. And I think sometimes that's the hard part, is that you don't wanna tell people about, like, this is heavy. It's
Yeah.
heavy. It's heavy, you know? Um you can see commercials on TV talking about domestic violence and all that, and it looks so
Yeah.
far removed until it's your family, until it's
Yeah.
your auntie, until it's your cousin, until it's your, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when it is, that's when you're like, wow, this thing is not a joke. Like, this thing is straight real. And it is. And it's good to see that she's leaving, and that she's focused towards leaving, because
Yeah.
some women would go back. And some women, let's just be honest, they don't have no damn choice.
Yeah, that too. Because if they're relying on that person
Right?
financially and
And
stuff like
speaking of
that.
domestic violence, I do want to note that if he starts with, mentally abusing you, hit the road.
Yeah.
The day he calls you stupid, or you ain't good for nothing, or he starts calling you out your name, you're a bitch, you're a hoe, you're all of this, keep it pushing. Don't look back. Keep moving. Keep moving.
Mm.
Because no man that really cares for you will ever talk to you that way. Ever talk to you that way. So yeah. But anyway, woo girl. Ooh,
Woo.
Lord.
Praying for you, Kiki. You got the strength. You have a good support
Yes.
system. So
Yes.
hopefully this is a beginning of getting your freedom. It'll be hard because you have the kid, but this is the
Right? But
start.
let's move on into the workout. And the
Mm-hmm.
topic that we are going to cover, kind of, it has to do with relationships. So I think it's a good segue into, a little lighter of a topic. But
Yeah.
right? And so this is the workout. This is where we work out our hearts, we exercise our mental fitness, we do deep dive discussions on things that are affecting our culture or us in general. And so one of them, and we've been seeing these two out lately because they've been putting their whole relationship up in our face. We can't get enough. Okay. And
Mm-hmm.
so the topic that we're going to discuss is spinning around back the block. Okay. We're going to go
Yeah.
spin round back the block. And we're going to take Ashanti and Nelly's relationship
Whew.
as an example of this stuff. Okay. So many years ago, many years ago, Ashanti and Nelly were in a relationship, and they were in a relationship for about 10 years,
Mm-hmm.
roughly. And we all thought they were going to get married, and that was the it couple for them, and didn't go so. And they parted ways for almost about 10 years, almost about. They parted ways. And they've circled round the block. They
Yeah.
span back around, and now they're together again. And everywhere you damn near turn, okay, is them and their relationship. The other day, I think Ashanti threw Nelly a surprise birthday party or something like
Yep.
that.
Yep.
You know, Nelly is buying Ashanti, all sorts of jewels and clothes and bags and all sorts of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um, right. And so in this relationship that they now have, right, to me, it seems really artificial. It
Mm.
seems really fake and phony. Back then, they were the it couple. They were the it couple. They were
Yes,
in
they were.
comparison to Jay-Z and Beyonce. They definitely were up there. And then
Yeah.
they parted. And then Nelly picked up Miss Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Nice lady, seems like, but that didn't last either. Okay, he was with her for quite some time, as a matter of
Yeah.
fact. I think what 6 or 7 years or something like
Yeah.
that. They were together, but they parted ways, and now Nelly and Ashanti are back, flaunting their relationship every turn, every corner. We have to see them together. And now I want to discuss the spin back, the spin round the block. We're gonna come
Yeah.
back again.
Mm-hmm.
In their situation, I was saying to Jeanette that there's no way I would be Ashanti and Nelly come back after all this time and he don't have a damn ring. He needs to have a proposal, a ring, a date ready. Okay? Because what are we doing? Nelly and Ashanti are not young bucks no more. You
Nope.
understand?
They're both
They're
well in
not.
their 40s.
They're
And
well in their
he just
40s.
turned 49.
So he's on the verge of 50. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So he's around the corner from 50. Okay. And Ashanti, I believe she's what, 40, I think she's around
She just
41,
turned
42.
42, 43, 43. I think I saw.
Right?
Mhm.
So Ashanti is 43 years old. Okay. And neither one of them are married. And now they're back in this relationship with each other. And Nelly, if you don't have real commitment here, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
Right? And if you guys just want to go out there and have a good old funky time, and can you keep it to yourself? We don't need to know what purse you got. We don't need to know that you throw him a party or bought him a car or whatever the hell. We don't need to
Yeah.
know none of that. I'm gonna let you talk more about
Mhm.
Tasha
Ashanti.
K's clip in regards to these two people. And we'll talk more about what we think about Nelly and Ashanti. Ashanti, you must require things. You understand? This is your love thing now. Your love with this man because because
So pretty much. So what? Why it made me? I hate to say it, but I laughed. Like Tasha K is a mess, but I
sure.
stumbled. On YouTube Shorts. You come across a lot of random shit on YouTube Shorts. So this came up on my Shorts feed. Tasha was essentially is feeling to the same tone to you. Is like, I'm tired of seeing this shit. I'm
Right?
tired of like da 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 da. Like I have my point of view is that it's cute, but I guess if you really think about the story and how this man wasted 10 years of her life, it's not that cute.
Good years.
But
Good years too. Hmm.
there's something beautiful to seeing two people unabashedly love each other. But to your point, is it for the cameras or is it real? Because I was taking it as real. But this past 2 weeks with her birthday and his birthday, I was like, this is a bit much. This is a bit much.
Right?
But regardless, I'm happy for them. But Tasha K was like, yeah, we're seeing this, we're seeing that. She said, Ashanti, after this man wasted your time, you're getting everything. You're exchanging gifts, you're getting diamonds, you're getting this, you're getting that, you're getting everything but the ring.
Thank
And I was
you.
like, ooh, ouch. I was like, dun dun dun. I was like, "Ooh, damn!" Here I am basking in their love and their
No.
and their
Mm-mm.
unabashed admiration of each other. But then Tasha K said that and dashed cold water on me. I was like, you know what?
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
normally, if let's say if they didn't date, like say they just dated for a little bit, like it was a fling. Like if they just briefly,
Mhm.
celebrity fling, they were together for a year and everything. Okay, whatever. I honestly wouldn't then that comment wouldn't really ring true to me, right? But knowing that they were in a relationship for 10 years and he ended up leaving her and cheating on her for this other woman
Yeah.
that you talked about,
Yeah.
um it's like if I'm going to trust you with my heart again, I'm gonna need some type of commitment, promise of commitment. Like the ring needs to be in the future. However, okay, now I'm gonna come with my liberal
Mhm.
bullshit. What if
Mhm.
she doesn't want to get married? What if that is the case?
And you
Maybe.
know what? Kudos to you, girl. Kudos to you. But can you might want to ease up on buying him stuff, and
Mm,
because
mm,
you
mm.
know and vice versa. You know, you
Yeah.
guys are doing stuff for each other that married people would do.
Mm,
Okay, like the type of money that you're spending on each other. Now, yeah, granted, they have it, right?
mhm.
And that's great, but you might not have it forever, okay? Because I'm still waiting for another album from Nelly. Anybody
Do we
else?
want another album from Nelly?
At this point, I need you to stay relevant,
Well,
okay?
here I don't know if you know this, but this summer he sold his this is one of the reasons Tasha K talked about
Yes.
him again.
Mhm.
He sold his catalog. He sold
Yeah.
50% of his music catalog for $50 million. So
Right.
which I admire because it's like he still got a chunk of money, but
Sure did.
he also owns 50% of his music. So he still has some ownership and getting some
Yeah.
value
Yeah. But
while
the
still.
value is going to drop. Like
Yeah, it does.
we have to understand that Nelly is not of this generation.
No.
And the fact that he got the 50 mil for half of his,
Yeah, that's a good pretty deal, I think,
it
for
is
him.
pretty good. And it's because he did so well.
Mhm.
However, right, 50 mil is nothing if you're popping style on Ashanti like this. If you're just popping cash on this woman left, right, and center, with no real concrete relationship. You're just saying that you're together, but there's no commitment that we can see of. You guys are trying to
Yeah, it's
pretend
true.
like you're back in your 20s,
Yeah, that's
okay?
that's the
And you're
poppy
not.
show.
You're
Yeah.
not. You're twice the age of that. So you need to be. And I don't know of any rapper that has a retirement plan. Okay, right. So that 50 mil is your retirement plan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so we shouldn't be stunting on Ashanti. I'm sorry, especially if she's not your wife.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I'm
for
assuming I'd hope
and
he's
vice versa, and vice versa.
mm,
So I'm not just gonna put that on him. I'm gonna, Ashanti too. Like, Ashanti is still, she's vibrant. She's still,
yeah.
making music, and she's booked and busy, and that's great, right? However, you're not married to this man. You're not. I feel strongly you should have no financial gain from me unless I'm your wife. Period.
Okay.
If I want to gift you something, that's something different. Am I gonna gift you a car? No, not fam. No. Am I gonna gift you like jewelry? Maybe. Maybe. It depends. It depends on the situation. It depends on the relationship. And I don't think that they have been together long enough to be. It all seems like it's for publicity, anyways.
Yeah, but the part of me that's in a fairy tale, it's like Jeanette, stop it.
Stop.
The part of
Come
me that's
out.
the part of me that's like in a fairy tale. I don't even like romances, but they, but their romance. I don't know why I love it so much, and I think it's a preview that we got when we saw when they did the versus the Murder Inc. versus was it Murder Inc. versus what? I don't remember who it was against. It could only be Murder
Oh, I don't
Inc.
remember.
versus
Wasn't it Monica?
no, no Monica. Well, there's a lot of no. It was Murder Inc. and
Jada Kiss. Well, no,
no, it wasn't
no.
them.
Oh, I can't remember
Another
now.
crew that Terror Squad. Oh, is it Rough Riders? Oh, okay,
I
one
would.
of them.
I
Anyway,
feel like Rough Riders.
yeah, like, and now it's bothering me now because I'm struggling so bad because it was pretty epic versus Murder Inc. Let's see who it is. Let's get the mystery. That's thank God for Google. Let's
Right?
get the mystery. Let's
Thank
see, what
God.
was it? Murder. Okay, it was okay. Oh, it was actually Fat Joe
Fat Joe.
versus Ja Rule.
Oh.
Okay, so and then I guess that's why I was thinking Terror Squad because like, why is Terror Squad keeping getting in the back of my head? But I guess
Mm-hmm.
Ja Rule brought obviously Murder Inc. people on there, and Ashanti was there, and Nelly Day, that infamous video where you see Nelly cross from all the way across the stage to get his hug from Ashanti.
Ugh.
I was like, this, this ninja right here,
Right
he is
here?
he said, "I am getting my hug." And the way he was grinning his teeth. One thing about Nelly, he's gonna grin his teeth,
Right?
grinning his
Love a
teeth. Like
grins.
people don't. Sorry, that's like a Jamaican term, but like when you say that, it's like you're smiling from ear to ear. And what does that mean? You
Yep.
look at somebody like you're smiling ear to ear. You just like the cat that caught the canary. So ever
Right?
since then, he's been smiling like that from from Wedia.
Oh
So, but
God.
anyway, what I was saying is it's very beautiful, and I want to believe that it's true. But I think what will really make this a genuine and true, I guess, fantasy love story, and show the power of spinning the block is if he were to put a ring on her finger. I don't know if that's what she wants. Maybe that's what I want for her. But
Right, but then
that
let
would
her
be,
say no. Can we at least try? Like, can
yeah, at least
we?
try. Yeah,
I
I want her. I
mean,
want to know that's the intention. That's the only intention for this now. After what he did to her, like taking a woman, like you robbed her of her 20s. I'm sorry, you robbed her of her 20s,
sure did. Sure
and
did.
so and women, we need to take accountability in those scenarios too. But let's just say, that's what happened.
Yeah,
So he
she went willingly. She did.
she
She went
she did,
willingly.
right? And so anyway, spinning the block, I when I think about it, I think if you do it with intention, so in an ideal world, when they decided to go public again with their rekindling their relationship, I would hope that there was a serious conversation between the two of them on what they wanted out of this relationship, and whatever that is, and it's clear, and neither of them are getting, what's the word, shafted or bamboozled, then I'm good. Like I think if you're gonna spin the block properly. You don't spin the block out of desperation, loneliness, which
Well,
I
see,
think
and
happens
that's
to.
the thing, and that's the thing with them being at the age that they're at, is that they're
Mhm.
starting to realize, okay, well, my young days are done, and I want, someone in my life, and I get that, and here's my thing with spinning the block, right? I don't do it. Period. I don't do it.
Me too.
I'm not
It's
about
hard
that
for me.
life.
Me
I'm
too.
not
It's
about that
hard.
life. I'm sorry if
Mhm.
I say if I it, here's the thing is I give you a long rope to hang yourself. You understand? So when the rope done now and you hang up yourself and I say deuces, there ain't no turning back. I'm very much like my mom that way. When she says she done. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter. You can't convince her none the other. You just can't. And
Me
so for
too.
me, I'm very much like that. Once I've said no, I'm done. There's no going back. So I ain't spinning the block. And if I do spin the block, it's to show you that I'm married. Thank you, bitches. But
I like that.
that's it. That's all.
I
Okay,
like that one.
that's
Yeah,
the
me
only
too. It's
time.
it's a Taurus stubbornness in
It
me. I'm
sure
like that is
is. It sure
once I
is.
once even if I want to, like the stubbornness alone, I'm not going
Yeah.
to. Like it's not gonna happen.
Nah, fam. For what? Nah, because you know what? In order for you to, because
I made up my mind already.
A Taurus
Mhm,
is very loyal. They're
mhm,
very loyal people, and so for you to make it so that I'm gonna walk away from you and done
mhm,
the loyalty, you had to really done me something wrong, right? And so you hung yourself with the rope. I'm gone. I'm not turning back. There is no turning back. I don't care if I see you again and you profess how much you love me and how much you care and how much and how much. No.
mhm.
A no and no. And no again. No, thank you. Because there's a reason why you left him,
Yeah, straight. It's
right?
done.
And I think the reason is because he was a lying, cheating dog.
Ooh. Well, she had
And
that was a blatant disrespect going on there.
what?
Like that was a
Girl, her whole of her 20s gone for this big chiclet teeth man. Are you crazy? And then he wants to turn around and cheat on her with this heifer? Nah, fam. No, it doesn't work like that. You gotta have some, pride for yourself. Now, Ashanti, um, I don't know, because I do believe people can change. I do
yeah.
believe people can change, and so maybe she's seen a change in him that we don't see, right?
Mhm.
But you guys aren't showing us any of that. You're showing us like you were back in your 20s, right? You guys were the it couple and you both let that slip. And now you're going to go back to do what at this big old age? What are you going back to do? For real? If it's not to get married, to show us all how much gifts you want to buy each other, miss me with it. I think that they're at a point now where they both want to stay relevant. They both want to stay in the limelight. And
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this was a publicity thing. That's what it looks like so far. And in terms of Tasha K's comment, I agree with you 110% because the only way that he could ever come back to me is on bended knee. That is the only way he could come back to me. Now, does that mean that we're going to get married today? No. We're going to get to know each other. We're going to see if we're actually going to walk down the aisle.
Yeah.
But you need to show me that commitment. You need to show me that, you know what? I messed up. I was a fool. I didn't know better. I'm serious about this now. I want to marry this woman. Like, whatever. You need to, a whole lot of groveling to even have me think about it. Ashanti, why are you really with Nelly? For real. Because I don't even see the love. And I
You
think
don't.
back,
You
I
know.
don't see it. I think
I
they're
see a lot.
happy.
Yeah.
Sex
I think
makes
they're
you
happy.
happy. Yeah.
Ooh.
You
Okay.
know,
Yeah.
I think they're happy, but I don't think that they love each other.
I don't know. I feel like for men. Okay, maybe I don't know. Wait, listen. I haven't paid attention to Nelly
This is
since
right.
he black backed into, like, back from the limelight. But the way this, forget about Shanti, the way this man is grinning up his teeth and laughing and smiling and not this and not that, I'm like, I don't know. It's just something interesting. Like, women, we're easy. Like, women, we love affection. Like, we're easy to kind of cozy up and get to that place once a man is paying attention to you and spending time with you, right? But for a man to not only be spending time with you, but when he see you, like, his face is lit up. The man is like firecrackers around this woman. So it's like, to me, it's like, wow, I feel like love is exuding off of them. But like you're saying, it could be that new relationship glow, like,
Yeah.
that's what we're
Yeah,
seeing.
because they're getting to know each other again and they're
Mhm.
going out. And you see, the thing is that in relationships, what I've gathered is that the honeymoon stage fades,
Mhm. They're in
and
the
we get
honeymoon
to,
phase
they
hard.
are, they're very much in the honeymoon stage, rediscovering each other and their relationship, and all lovey-dovey and I love you and oh I love you. Yeah, until the shit gets real. Okay, until they have been together for some time and they have gone through all of that, and you can't buy each other any more bags in the public or throw any more parties because everybody doesn't give a shit. Nobody cares. Right
Yeah.
now, it's all funny and oh, Ashanti and Nelly, they're back together. And if you know, you know that they were once together, and we all loved them together before, right? But there's been some time in between these two people, and they're older now. And so they've grown, they've matured, they've gone through things. I know Ashanti has gone through things, you know. And so right now it seems all great and fine and dandy, but when the honeymoon stage is done and we have to get down to the real relationship, I don't know. I don't think that they have that enough love to make it through those hard times.
Wow.
I don't see it right now. All I see is, the honeymoon and buying stuff and all this stuff. What would be nice is that they just took their relationship slowly,
Yeah.
and didn't put it on every single like, I don't want to see all of this. I think that you guys should just have your relationship, get to know each other, rediscover each other, have your relationship. And when it comes time for him to propose, that's when I want to see it again. Because I
Okay.
want to
Yeah.
see you get that ring. I do. Girl, you deserve it at this point. Because Nelly and his big old chicklin teeth, like, honestly, you deserve it from this man, especially after he embarrassed you, you know? But I don't know. With Ashanti, I feel like at times she's not lucky in love. Like, she has a lot of seems like she has a lot of heartbreak,
Mm.
and so and you can hear it in her music a lot, right? And so I really hope that it does work out for them. But generally speaking, the spinning the block thing,
Yeah.
I'm not down for it. You know,
Okay.
I'm not down for the spinning the block. Now, I have heard a lot of success stories.
Yeah, I've seen it.
We've
We
seen
have.
it,
Yeah.
right? And
Mm-hmm.
and it's awesome. It's awesome. But in those relationships, I feel like they didn't end on bad term. And so it did I don't know, is it really spinning the block? I don't know. Like if you
Oh, I
didn't
see.
end on bad terms with the person, like say for
But
instance, you had to move
true.
away for a job, right?
Oh,
It's
that's
not that
different.
you didn't it's not that you didn't love the person and they didn't love you, but you were just at two different points in your life and had
But
to move,
okay. But
then
you know
I
what?
could understand the spinning of the block. But when this man cheats on you and treated you like you ain't shit, I don't know how you spin the block on that.
But you know what? The relationship still ended. But it's easier for me. It's easier to spin the block where you ended, like we're on a mutually agreed. Like, well, you didn't end in toxicity. You ended because circumstances, right?
Right.
But if you're ending because somebody's a cheating bastard, that's like spinning the block on that is kind of like, ooh, girl. But
Right? This is what I'm saying. And overall, I think, there's a reason why things end. And sometimes God is trying to open a door for you
Mhm,
and you're still trying to keep the window open.
mhm,
So you need to sometimes let the window close in order for God to open a door. So in this case, I think, circling the block for them, that door should have stayed shut. The window should have been sealed up, should have been boarded up. We shouldn't be going back that direction. Nelly is a damn cheat. He's a lie. Okay. And honestly, I don't, Nelly, I don't know. You just, over the years, I've heard some things that you had yourself involved with, some real scandalous stuff. And I've always side eyed you since Ashanti. And so if you have a toxic relationship, why are we circling back? Like, why? Great, you've grown. Great, it's nice to see you've grown. I'll catch up with you. I'll do all of that. I'll even walk down memory lane with you. Okay? But when I snap back into reality, I'm gone. There's no going back for me. That is very much. I'm a Taurus and an Aries. I'm born on the cusp. So one is
mhm.
a ram and one is a bull. So best believe I'm hard headed when I'm ready. And so when I'm ready, I say deuces. I chalk my deuces, and I ain't turning back. I don't care if you reformed yourself and now you're a monk. I couldn't give a shit. I'm gonna keep it pushing. And Ashanti, I think you should do the same, girl. You too gorgeous. You too gorgeous for Nelly, to be quite honest. And maybe you are in love. I don't know. But, could you give us some time to readjust to it? Because right now it just seems so fake and phony. And ultimately, Tasha K, you're right. You didn't get the wedding ring, girl. You still didn't get the damn wedding ring after all this damn time with this damn man. But kudos to you if that's what you want to do. And so let's wrap up this show. And we do hope that your hearts and minds were activated on this week's show. So, whether you lead with your heart or your mind, please stay passionate and thoughtful. And we will holla back real soon.
Bye.